Torrin was born on December the 13th, 1976 at Clyde Hospital in central Otago. He was 11 weeks premature and weighed 2 pounds. He was very, very tiny and very sick. We were told there was no show of him living. Dunedin Hospital sent a neonatal ambulance to collect him, and they travelled through the night to Queen Mary Hospital in Dunedin. When he was 3 days old, he had a brain hemorrhage. Because of that, he developed hydrocephalus and was operated on by a neurosurgeon. This neurosurgeon had never operated on such a tiny baby before. Torrin came through that operation and he spent 5 months in the hospital, then another 6 weeks in the Karitani hospitals. When he was 1 year old, we returned to Alexandra to live. After a year, we realised there was no help and no support, and Torrin wasn't making any progress. He didn't walk, he didn't talk, he couldn't feed himself. He was unable to sit up. So at the age of 2 years, we moved back to Dunedin. He attended Vera Hayward Neonatal Clinic for cognitive therapy and physiotherapy. He also went to the Crippled Children's Kindergarten where he did music therapy. Progress was extremely slow and we were told Torrin would never walk and never talk. At the age of 2.5, we moved to Rotorua where my parents had retired to, and we were told of the Child Potential Unit that was renowned throughout the world for the physiotherapy. After 6 months, 10 days before Torrin's 5th birthday in 1981, the year of the disabled child, Torrin stood up and walked.
My primary years were very tough. Couldn't do things like normal kids could do. Left behind most of the time. I was isolated from other kids. I made a friend in high school on the bus. Really hard to socialise with other kids in the classroom. I used to get teased a lot. Second year I was put into a social, sort of like a work experience unit with the social disturbed students who would play off in class, cause trouble. After high school, 5-year course was a National Certificate in Human Services. Basically it was a half social work degree, training with other people with disabilities. Between that, my father died. Took quite a hard check of my life, trying to get back on track with my course. Also took me 3 years, $2,000 to get my restricted licence. 10 years after my dad died, we moved to Auckland for better help and support. I lived with my sister and her husband 6 months. Mum got a Housing New Zealand house. My mum stayed with me for 2.5 years to get me transitioned into independence. I applied for funding for invalidised funding for my caregivers. Last but not least, about Flex. He's a really good companion to have with me. It's achieved my life really well.